Hey guys, welcome to your Asana tutorial. I just wanted to walk you through because I know if you have never used Asana, it could be a little overwhelming or lost. It could be a little overwhelming. So first of all, I would have sent you an invitation to participate in the team called Content. So there's different teams here, but you have been invited to the Content team. So you're going to be prompted to add a photo, just fill out your info, etc. So here on the left side, there's different teams that you may see, but you're only concerned with the team, or it's called really project. Well, it's called content team. So if I toggle the content team, I will see the members first, and then I will see the projects. You always want to open up to more projects. So make sure that you're in the project that ends in CT, which means content, and that you're not in the SEO team or in another web dev team, as they may have the projects in there themselves. So typically this is not a problem, but just keep that in mind. So the way we have organized our clients here in Asana and in general, as far as how many agency hours we're giving them, and as far as how much customer service we're giving them as well. The way that we have divided here our clients is in tier systems to see, clients that are investing more in PPC and SEO, they're going to get more of our time and attention. So you can see here we have God tier, which is a funny name, but these are really our top tier clients, and Next Level is one of them. Then we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So you'll hear us saying that because that's really important, right? So if you have, let's say you have 3 blog posts today scheduled for you to do, but you see that, one of them is for God tier or tier 1, or maybe I've labeled it priority, which we'll talk about in a little bit, then you're going to want to work on that first. So the tiers are important for you to know the hierarchy of the clients. So when you click on a project, so let's say ASP Windows, you get to see everybody's tasks and everything that's going on here. So one very important thing is never to close out or delete this task that says blog post sample template. Now, some of you are going to also be scheduling out your own tasks or to someone else if I or David or someone else requests it. Just keep in mind that if you just click or if you hit enter, that creates a new task. And you see how that's blank, so I'm going to close that out. So the template is a template so we could use when assigning blog posts. So the main task here will have the main name, we'll have an assigned person, and a due date. But inside the main task, there's also subtasks. Now, if you are chosen to complete one of these subtasks, it's very important that when you complete the subtext, you close it out. Many of the tasks itself, you're not going to be able to fully complete until we review. So let's say you did a new blog post and the next person needs to edit. So let me take this one for example. So Gerald is the one that's assigned this blog post. So no one's assigned editing yet. So I haven't assigned editing. So I'm going to assign here to Taylor. Okay. Graphic will depend, but right now it's Michael Capone and Taylor. So the email of the client is usually the writer. The publisher of the blog post is usually the writer as well. So the writer, if you're assigned to write the blog post, most likely you are emailing the client if the client needs to be emailed, and you are publishing the content on their WordPress, Magento, whatever they use. So here for this blog post here that he's going to create, the subtasks have no date. So what he's going to do is, I'm just put a tag. So like test, text for video right now, and then I could tag Taylor. So if I wrote this blog post, I'm going to make a comment and say ready for editing Taylor. I'm also going to put that the editing, if you don't see a date, is due today. Now, if I know like this is not high priority, if I want to put the edit for tomorrow, due tomorrow, I can as well. Usually you will get the task with that date already. Usually the edit doesn't have a date because it depends really when you as a writer finish it. So you can add the date and you could tag them so they can see. Okay. Now, if everything else is ready and you're still waiting for a photo, then you could just add notes. It's really important that we communicate and keep adding notes. If we get feedback from the client, add it in the notes. If you followed up, add it that you followed up. If you haven't if you called the client, add it. Because if somebody else opens a task, they know what's going on, and it's very important. So here I could also do app mentions. I could put little emojis. Now, if you're going, we use Google Drive for the post, so then you're going to attach. Okay, not copy. Well, actually, that copied. You're going to attach it from Google Drive. So new drafts for blog posts need to be done under the client folder in NLM for that client. So this is ASP and ASP. Then Gerald's going to attach his file from Google Drive, right? Then the next person edits. Once Taylor edits, she's going to tell him it's ready for the client to be emailed, and then he'll go on. It's really important that you close out the subtask. This is like almost like, a factory. So if you're holding up on your end, it's going to bottleneck everyone else. So do your due diligence to follow up on your tasks as well. Now, one thing that you can see overall is you can go to I'm going to just go to Michael Capone's task right now. There's a list view. When you do list view, it's really important for you to sort by, I think, due date. So you can know like what's going on, what do I need to do, etc. So So you could sort it by due date. You could sort it by other things too, by project if you wanted to. There's also the calendar view. A lot of people don't use the calendar view only if they're project managing. So I can see, wow, Capone has a lot of tasks today. And also the labels represent different things that I look at. Files, you'll see some files have been attached to that project before. So most people are using the list view and they're looking at this. Very importantly for you to go to where it says My Tasks on top, again, sorted by due date, so you don't miss anything. So you come in the morning and kind of go through your tasks. Some people will have an open Word doc to just prioritize their day. That's fine as well. Then there's also inbox. Inbox is like a notification for everything that's going on in the content team as far as tasks. So since I project manage and David project manages, we look at, so whoever's project managing, so since I project manage and content manager project manage, I go to inbox and I look at every single thing that's going on. So just make sure nothing's, stopping, that things aren't missed. Now you also get email notification, which can get a little crazy. So what I recommend is for you to create a filter and a label folder. So I created the folder called Asana Tasks, so they all go here. So it might be easy to just read and see what's going on from here. I personally, since I'm overseeing all the tasks, which is a lot, then I really don't use my email. I rather actually go to Asana. But it's really important that you check a few different places so you don't miss. Especially a lot of people are missing the notification of being tagged. So, let's say I tagged David here earlier. If he's not really checking, going back to this task or ignoring his emails, he's going to miss this. So this is why going to my tasks or inbox is important. Just an overview so you get a feel of what's going on and so forth. Last but not least, if you received really important feedback, like with the blog post list, with the client brief, or, the client has, said, hey, we're changing this, we want more topics on this, you go to the actual client, and you'll go to the project, then go to where it's called conversation. So say feedback from client, and then you can add a person's, if you want to make sure your supervisor or somebody else will be notified. Usually whoever's following the project is notified, but that's something else for you guys to take a look. Overall, it's really important that communication is key. So follow, so don't leave your tasks standing. When you're first starting, most likely, other people will have to close out your task. You won't be able to close out your task right away. And then once you get the flow of what you can close out and not close out, it'll make a lot more sense. So if you have any questions, just come stop by or email me.